Hi, this is Misty with Above and I'm coming to you this week as a follow-on to the series we've been focused on around how do you find your clarity and purpose. And as I've said before, this is probably one of the top questions that we are asked by people that we coach, and it can be incredibly frustrating if you are ambitious and you feel like there's a big opportunity for you and a big purpose and something that you want to go after in your life, but it's fuzzy, it's not clear, and it can make it incredibly difficult to make even the most basic decisions around what to do now. What's my next move, let alone where am I going long term? And so today I want to do a follow-on discussion and build on what we talked about in the last video, which was the power of morning pages, the power of journaling, the power of writing. The other thing we talked about in the other video that I think is really important to just remind ourselves of, and this is the point of view that Amy and I have, and I'm not saying that this is the right answer. I'm not saying this is the truth, but it's my truth and our truth, which is that more important than figuring out what you're going to be when you grow up, more important than that is really having a plan in place that you can abide by, that ensures that you live every single day on purpose and in purpose. And you don't have to know what your long-term purpose is to know what's right now. And we talked a little bit in the last video about that, but I just felt like it's important to punctuate that point, especially because today's activity is all geared around, once again, how do you find what your ultimate purpose is? How do you get clarity on what you should do long term? Or you can use this activity to get clarity on what you should do next. And what I'm sharing with you is how I have created clarity for myself. This is best practice test case of one. And I've used this with some people that I've coached as well. But what I will tell you is that for me, this really is an effective way of unblocking when I'm stuck around what I should do in my career. And as I've shared before, that is something that I've struggled with. I'm really happy with how my career has turned out. And so as it happens, not having clarity of purpose didn't really correlate to my success in my corporate career. And now I'm more clear than I ever have been about my purpose, and that feels good as well. But today's activity is one that I use, like I said, for myself, and I wanted to share it with you. And if it's helpful, I'd love to hear how you get on with it. It's a very simple brainstorm exercise, and I call it the 3 M's. That's mostly so I don't forget what I'm supposed to be brainstorming. And the activity is going to have you create a list under each of the 3 M's, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And then after you've done that, you sit back and reflect on it, and you look for connections between these 3 areas. So the 3 areas, and I should also say, you can use your morning pages journaling each day. It would be incredibly powerful if you took this as a framework and over a period of days or weeks, ask yourself these same questions over and over again. See if the answers change, see if they stay the same, see how you respond and react to the different answers that you get. So this is not a once and done activity. This is a mindset and something that you should hopefully be thinking about on an ongoing basis. If it's new to you, I hope it's useful and something you can carry forward. So the first M is marketability. And this area is a brainstorm around all of the ways that you are marketable in the workforce. Because again, we're focused on career, we're focused on career success. So let's stay in that pocket. So brainstorm 5 to 10, if you're really on a roll, areas and ways in which you know that you are what I would call bankable as an employee. And if you're not sure what that is, two things. One, think about what are the areas where people consistently come to you as the go-to person for? What are you the go-to person for? And then if that's not clear to you, find someone who knows you well at work, who you feel like you could trust, and ask them that question. Say, look, I'm doing this little exercise, working with a coach, say whatever you want to say. And what I need to understand is, what am I bankable for? Like, what are my strengths? What do you people come to me for? Okay, so that is marketability. That's the first M. Make your brainstorm list for what are the areas that are marketable. And you can also think a bit about that in terms of if and when you go out and put yourself in the market, what are the skills and deliverables that you're going to be selling that you can bring to another organization? Okay, so that's marketability. The second area is motivation. And motivation is all about what you love to do when you're not being paid to do it, when your time is not being governed by anyone else, when left to your own devices. What are the things that you really enjoy that give you energy? That could be, it could be reading, it could be researching, it could be, certain sports. Don't know what it is for you, but brainstorm the list of things that you really love to do. Maybe you like organizing closets. Maybe you like cooking. What are the things that you enjoy doing when you've got time available to do what you want to do? So that's the second area, and that's motivation. The third M that you're going to brainstorm is, I call it mission. And this is a list of areas where you legitimately could give back. And by give back, what I mean is share, teach, instruct around areas that you have personally had struggles and you are either in process of overcoming them or you've overcome them already, and you have learnings from that experience that would be valuable to other people. And I call it mission because I do think it's my mission and my responsibility to share things that I've learned, like this, for example. And so your areas of mission could be, for example, that you really struggled with public speaking and you found some hacks and some processes, or maybe you got some coaching that really helped you overcome that, and you feel like you've got something that you could contribute in helping other people overcome the same fear. It could be that you've struggled with finding your strengths and someone has helped you overcome that, and you've got some lessons and processes around that you can share. Could be any number of things, but make a list of the lessons you've learned from struggles that you've had and overcome that you could share back. Okay, so that's the three M's: your marketability, your motivation, and your mission. Quick and easy brainstorm. Don't get stumped on this because, like I said, you can do this a few days in a row, see what the answers are for each one, and then the power comes in doing a little secondary brainstorm where you look at each of those areas and start to look for patterns. I like to start with marketability to say, okay, ultimately from a career perspective, that's what I've got that I can sell that's going to be most appealing to people. So if I start with my brainstorm list of areas where I believe that I'm most marketable and I've proven that I'm most marketable, if I start with those areas and then cast my eye across the other two areas and say, which one of these things go together? If you can imagine a Venn diagram, you know, where the circles, you draw circles and then they overlap and the middle is that sweet spot, that's what you're going for. And in fact, if you wanted to do this, if you're a visual person, this might be really useful for you to create 3 circles and do your brainstorm in the outer area of those 3 circles for the 3 M's, and then do your secondary brainstorm in that middle spot where you've got some overlap so that you can start to see If there are areas where your marketability, your motivation, and your mission all can fit together, then you've got something hugely powerful, and you might just have the answer to what your purpose is, or at a minimum, you could have an answer to what you could do next, or some options and alternatives for you from a career standpoint that you could confidently sell yourself on, that would energize you because you enjoy it, and would tap into some areas where you've learned through some struggles that you could give back. So that's 3M's exercise. I challenge you to give it a go. I would love to hear back from you. If you do have a go, please ping us. You can DM us on Instagram. You can leave us a message on YouTube, Facebook. You could come to our website. Make sure that you've signed up at aboveand.com so that you can stay up on what we're doing. And I wish you all the best. I hope you have a great week.